All right. So can you give me a little context, I guess, before he hops on, or?
Yeah, so this was a call like a week back. It was like last Monday, I believe.
Actually, you
And
know
you
what?
and Brent were busy.
I'll just wait till he gets on, and I'll just say, hey man, Thomas kind of gave me the rundown, but I'm just curious to kind of hear where you're at and stuff like that, and we'll see. We'll just go from there. I just want to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Did you talk about price?
Hey Ryan, how's it going, man?
What's up? I think it usually takes a second to get the audio kind of dialed in, but.
Can you hear me?
Got you perfect, man.
Yeah.
Hello? Can you see me? How are you?
I can see you, yeah.
Doing good, doing good.
That's probably the fastest anybody has actually gotten their their video like correctly. Everybody always gets on there like, how do I turn this thing on? I'm so confused. I'm like, come on. Not that hard, you know?
No, actually, my iPhone did it for me. It was just like, click here, click here, click here.
Cool. So, by the way, where are you based out of?
New Jersey.
Oh, that's like right around the corner from me. I'm in Manhattan.
Oh, are you? Oh, nice.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, our owner lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, there you go. So,
we're down south near Cherry Hill. You probably know where it is.
yeah. I'm not super familiar with it, but I have heard the name. Yeah, I only know like certain parts of Jersey. I'm not crazy familiar with it. So yeah, Thomas mentioned that you guys had spoke like about a week ago or so. So I'm just curious what where you guys are at and how maybe I can kind of help and see if maybe we can make something happen here.
So I think over the past week, yes, I was reaching out to a few different companies. And just seeing what was out there. Obviously, we had spoke, Thomas and I, and the market's pretty saturated for solar here.
Yep.
So I was just reaching out to a few contacts I've made over the past 2 years just to see what was out there that you guys could offer. And then over the past week, we're really getting our processes down with our dialer system and getting that into place with our call center. We were manually dialing for a little while, just a little that implemented.
Nice.
Yeah. So what are you guys just refresh my memory on what you guys have to offer right now and what we can kind of work with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we do a few different things, man. There's there's a couple different things we can implement for you guys. I am just curious I'm just curious where you guys are at in terms of like with the business. I know you mentioned, well, I'll tell you one thing. One of the big problems we've run into with some of the solar companies we work with is, to be quite frank with you, man, a lot of them have a shoddy sales process. So for example, we've worked with a few companies where we've done our job on our end. We delivered the lead. We got the phones ringing. But they would not answer the phones, or they would follow up with leads like 2 weeks later, and next thing you know, they're not interested anymore. And it just became a mess. And unfortunately, it makes us look bad because it's like the client, the solar company is like, it makes it seem like we didn't do our job, but in reality, it's a faulty sales process on their end. Nice watch, by the way. I like that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it sounds like you guys have a pretty solid sales process in place. So would you mind kind of walking me through that in terms of like, let's say me personally, I was like, I'm interested. I want to know more. How can I get started with you guys as my solar company? What's the process?
So you could probably hear the phones ringing now. So as far as, let's say we purchase a lead. say I bought a lead from a vendor. It came into our system. It's getting called within the first 30 seconds. As soon as it lands in that dialer, it's almost like a shotgun process, and it's handed right to one of our call center reps. Get that person on the phone, we qualify them, we schedule an appointment right then and there. We shoot for the first 24 hours to schedule that appointment. They sit better. And as soon as that happens, schedule the appointment, goes on the rep's calendar. Obviously, at that point, the rep is scheduled for that appointment, goes out, either closes it, whatever happens. If it's scheduled after that 24-hour period, we do follow-up calls, that sort of thing. Reminders, appointment reminders, that type of thing. We also do have a outside canvas team that is right now knocking on doors, setting appointments. They call into our call center to verify their appointments. So I have Smith on the phone. Our call center rep sees the information in our CRM, and we get on the phone with the homeowner right then and there, confirm the appointment time, date, and all the qualifications, credit, and so forth.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool, man. When you said that you guys have a follow-up process, I kind of think you guys know what you're doing. We're trying.
All of us, everybody that's worked here came from either larger companies, and kind of joined together. It's a smaller company compared to some of the larger companies we work for, but we brought the good things with us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Can you hold on one moment?
Yeah.
Hey, we have another same day instead of at 6. I just saw it pop up my screen. Sorry. Somebody just set a same day. One of our canvassers just set a same day appointment.
There you go.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
So, and I'm going to ask you just a few questions, and it may sound a little bit like an interrogation, but I promise you there is a method behind the madness. So obviously every solar company is different. So for you guys, I know sometimes it can be tough to say an average number, but if you could give me an average, if I came to you guys and said, yeah, I want an installation done, what does that look like in terms of revenue on your guys' end?
Meaning, say that one more time.
Yeah. So if I want to go with you guys, I want an installation. Mm-hmm. What does that look like in terms of revenue? So on average, what are you guys usually doing for installation?
So, sorry. I'm not used to the phone screen, and people are texting me. So, so in average system, call it 30,000.
Okay.
Is that what you're trying to get at? Yeah, it's average system 30,000, I guess.
Yeah. And the reason I ask is because when we run campaigns, obviously we want it to make sense,
mm-hmm.
right? If you guys aren't making a whole lot per installation, sometimes it just doesn't make sense for us to work with a particular company. But if you guys are doing that level of, if you guys are making that per installation, that's pretty solid.
Well, you have to remember, we're not making. I mean, it's not profit.
Right,
that's the cost. That's the cost of the system, and installation and all that wrapped together. With that being said, and that question, what doesn't make sense? Say you were to work with a smaller partner, what's your average customer acquisition cost? What do you see from some of your other partners?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in terms of the average customer acquisition cost, it really depends, man, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. Obviously, on our end, we try to keep it as low as we possibly can, and we've got like a whole toolbox of tricks to do that when we run campaigns. And I don't mean tricks like dark magic or some crazy stuff where it messes with Google's algorithm or anything like that. Just really, really smart tactics that allow us to bring that cost down. By the way, do you guys have a website? I'm guessing you do.
We do actually. Our website right this second is actually on a test server. We have a GoDaddy website up right this second because we're doing some stuff to our website.
Okay, cool.
Obviously you've heard of. So our original website was perfectly fine, but somehow it got the white screen of death, they called it. I don't know. So the site went completely white, and we could not get anything back, nothing. So we threw a little GoDaddy site up for the time being, and we actually just had one built out, and it's just sitting on a test server right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So when we run campaigns, the nice thing is, even if you're in a position where, because we've worked with companies where it's like, the website's going to be done in a week, or the website's not up yet, or things like that. What's cool is on our end, we can actually build you out some pretty decent looking landing pages. They aren't like full-blown websites where it's like your services, how long you've been in business, all that good stuff. It's more of like a one-page site where it's designed to get people to give you their info. So it's pretty neat, and it converts really, really well. So we could build those in for you guys as well, and kind of keep that, implement that in the process. So I'm guessing, I know you mentioned early on that when we first spoke, like you guys buy leads and stuff like that. What are you guys doing now in terms of marketing, like bringing more business? Obviously, aside from like referrals and door-to-door and stuff.
Yeah, door-to-door. I mean, preset appointments are so some of the issues we're coming up to now are the saturation. So there's only so many companies that can preset us appointments. There's only, call centers, outsourced call centers, and there's only so many lead generation companies that we could buy from X company, but Y company sells us the same lead because somebody goes online and fills out both forms. I mean, as far as that, the regular marketing stuff, whether it be events, that type of thing, and paper marketing.
Yeah, for sure. What's kind of working well?
Majority of it's coming from the Canvas team and our call center. So
that's what I figured. I figured the call center would probably produce some decent results for you guys. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know a whole lot about. Thomas filled me in a little bit about what you guys spoke about last time, but could you maybe fill me in just a little bit more? Because honestly, I don't really know too much about what you guys spoke about.
I mean, it was pretty much. I just wanted to kind of figure out what you guys are doing, what you did different. Were you able to offer us something that's, maybe a regular company couldn't offer us? How does your process work, type thing? Like, what can you do for us? That was the majority of my questions, because I can call the lead generation companies in the world, but when I spoke to Thomas, he said it was kind of something different. So
yeah, for sure, man. So we are pretty different in that we are not like a lead selling service or like a lead aggregator, anything like that. Like we don't have like a database of leads that we're going to sell you and then go ahead and sell to like 10 other companies. We don't get involved in any of that stuff because, quite frankly, don't get me wrong, man, like sometimes they work, but for the most part, they're pretty shitty leads because they're getting sent to so many companies, right?
Yeah, unless you're paying for exclusives.
Correct. Exactly. So what we do on our end is completely different. Again, I don't know too much about what Thomas told you, but I'll just kind of give you the rundown.
You can give me the rundown again.
Yeah, for sure. So we have tested so much, man, when it comes to what works for solar. We've tested Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Instagram, the whole nine. What we found to crush it for solar is Google. And specifically, I'm sure you're probably familiar with like Google pay-per-click and all that good stuff. Yeah. So we will run two types of ads on Google. Then there's two main campaigns you can run. There's a pay-per-click, which I'm sure you probably heard of, which is where you have an ad, somebody clicks it, we take them to a page. Ideally, we try to get their info. And then there's a second type of campaign we can run, which is a pay-per-call campaign, where instead of taking somebody to a page, you can actually basically have the objective of the ad to get them to call you. And it's super, super powerful because if I'm on my phone and I see that, I'm looking for a solar company and I get the option to literally just call you right then and there, it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. And what's nice about our process is, like, literally when I say everything is trackable, like down to like literally every step of the way. So we're tracking so when a call comes into you guys, if it's from our ad, we'll know because we use a call tracking software on our end. We also use a couple different softwares to track where people are going if we send them to a landing page. There's something called like heat maps. You can see like where somebody's actually going on a page, which is pretty cool because then what that allows us to do, we can tweak and change that landing page depending on where we're seeing people are going or where they're falling off, and stuff like that. So I don't know if Thomas mentioned this or not, but we actually have an in-house team, and we're certified by Google. So, there's plenty of people out there that do Google Click. Not a whole lot of them are certified, through Google. So we're Google partners. So to put it quite frankly, we know our shit when it comes to Google.
You're proud of it. I like it.
I'm a little proud. And that's why we love working with solar companies that have a sales process that sounds like you guys have, because when we're dialed in and you guys are dialed in, it just works really, really freaking well.
Now, I know one of my questions was, because I know Thomas, the hard sell me with the text message, say there's people reaching out to him, but have you done business in New Jersey?
We have not yet, no.
Okay.
And honestly, man, it'd be pretty cool to work with you guys because you have a really cool process in place. It sounds like you're growing at a decently fast rate.
We are.
Yeah, so I can tell. So another thing I wanted to ask you is, this depends on market to market, but what are some of like the main issues? Like, for example, what sets you apart from other solar companies? So if somebody's looking for solar, why should they go with you? Like from a consumer's perspective.
Well, first, one of the biggest things is our installation timeline. We've really refined that down to, the minimal amount of time, the relationships we built either with the townships or anything like that. And, competitive pricing. I mean, we go against a lot of other companies and I would say 9 times out of 10 beat them out.
Nice. Awesome.
Sorry about that.
I hope you made that one.
I did. She caught it.
So yeah, that's awesome, man. And the reason I asked, you're probably wondering like, why the fuck did he ask me that? Is because we can actually incorporate those things into your campaign. So this way, not only on like a landing page, we can also incorporate that in our ad copy as well. Because that's kind of where the bulk of the work goes into is designing ads that convert. Right. So that's going to help us a lot because obviously it'll give us the opportunity to kind of show off on your guys' behalf, and kind of boast to people why they should go with you over the next solar company.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's kind of, what our process looks like. So do you have any questions so far? I know I kind of threw like a bunch of stuff at you, but
no, it's because I do understand how it works. I've dealt with it in the past. Like I said, I used to work at a larger company. I was the marketing director over there. And I've worked with a company similar to this. We did have a decent success. But it sounds like you guys, their process was a little different. And it was just, after a while, I couldn't actually deal with them anymore. But they didn't have their shit together, put it that way. They were a smaller firm out of New Jersey, and they came to us. They did well in the first 2 months, but then after that, and that's one thing like I said, and I'll bring it up again. It's almost like New Jersey. The people in New Jersey are tired of hearing the word solar. So that is the one thing that we run into. I use this as an example a lot. They probably hate hearing it. One of our door-to-door guys knocked on the door and said, "Are you selling solar or Jesus? Because I don't want any." So. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it is a very, very competitive market, and I don't know. You've probably ran the numbers, but it's probably going to be pretty costly for Google. I don't know if you've done the research as far as budgetary. But that's I guess for us to find out. I know. We spoke. It was I had $1,000 or 15 or 3,000. I can't remember what he said to get started type thing. Was that sound accurate?
You
Or
kind of cut out just a little bit. I think it might be on my end, but could you just say I can hear you?
yeah. So what's the meat and potatoes of it? It's like there's a budget and we pay you a certain amount. Like how does that work? How does the paying,
Yeah, for sure. So there's two sort of components to it. There's obviously
Mhm.
our retainer. There, we charge a management fee every month to manage your campaign. And just to give you an idea of kind of what that looks like, because you probably are curious, like what do we actually do? So we get asked that a lot. Like, what do you guys do? Do you just throw something up and then set it and forget it? It's like, no, there's a lot that goes into it. So part of what our team does is literally every single day we're watching your campaign and seeing if there's any ways that we can optimize it and make it perform better. And in layman's terms, when we perform better, we mean bring the cost down, cost per acquisition down. So literally every single day, we're watching your campaign. We're constantly optimizing it, constantly looking for opportunities to make some changes to it. And that could be a variety of things. It could be the ad copy. It could be the landing page. It could be a bunch of stuff. Luckily, that's kind of our load to carry. So that's what the management looks like. And for the management fee, we charge $3,000 a month. And for you guys, I would recommend. By the way, I don't think I asked you this before. How many reps do you have?
Sales reps?
Yeah.
Sales reps or hold on one second. You all right? Sales reps, I think 12 sales reps, 12 to 15. Some are part-time. But it's enough to cover where we need to cover. I mean, it's plenty. I mean, some of these guys can run 5-6 appointments a day. Call center reps, we have 3. Canvassers, we have 8. So
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Full
team for the most part. So for you guys, I would recommend just like a baseline starting point of $3,000 for ad spend, which will go obviously directly to Google. So I'm sure that's what you pay to be able to run ads on their platform. So that's what I would recommend starting with, and I think that's
your budget.
a starting point for you guys. Yeah.
So it would be, month. Say I started September 1st, it would be $3,000 to you as for management fees, retainer, and then we put $3,000 into the budget of Google. Correct? Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, what if we see no return?
Yeah.
I mean, what if? That's a big what if. I mean, first month we get rolling and we see no sales, few leads trickle in. How does that,
Yeah, great question. So I do like to set realistic expectations, right? So I'm not going to tell you, because to be honest with you, man, and you've dealt with enough marketing companies to probably know this by now, is most companies will promise you the world simply because they want your money and they want your sale. They want to make a sale. That's not what we do. So we're not going to turn on the campaign and then all of a sudden, like, it's just going to get crazy. However,
no, it's not going to flood. I completely understand that. And I get that. So I didn't want you to think that, but $6,000 is it's not a small amount of money. I just get worried, nothing personal towards you, is I hand $3,000 to you and then another $3,000 to Google and we get nothing. Like, it's just it's a fear.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a valid fear, 100%. One thing I do want to let you know, like kind of just as a side note, what you actually pay to Google, like for the ad spend, doesn't get drafted. Like let's say we started today or whatever, you don't pay that ad spend today. You'll pay that 30 days from now.
Okay.
So your only upfront cost is for us to build everything out for you, and then you'll pay your ad spend sort of on the back end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's almost, you pay it. I've used, yes. Okay. I understand.
Yeah, exactly. And we do also have a 2 to 4 week build out time. We aim for 2 weeks, but obviously we don't want to, overpromise and underdeliver. Right. So typically I say it's between 2 to 4 weeks when we can have the campaign actually up and running and live. And to get back to your concern, yeah, it's 100% a valid concern. However, just to be blunt with you, I'm pretty confident in our abilities.
That's fine. I like that. Listen, be blunt, because I'd rather be blunt than lie to my face, literally.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, here's the thing, man. If you guys if you weren't in the position that you were in terms of the amount of reps you have, what seems to be a really, really solid sales process, I would honestly be a little weary. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you told me that you guys are on the leads within 30 seconds, you're following up, you're reminding people, that instills confidence in me for the success of our campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's not one phone number going to be wasted. I promise you that. Okay. And is this put into you put it into a proposal? How does this, because I would like to, obviously others have heard it, but I would like to kind of take a look at a proposal, show the owner of the company, say this is something we might be interested in doing, and then maybe scheduling for us to go over the proposal type thing, and then how next steps. I do like this idea simply because it's outside of the box of just buying leads, and just trying to work them to death. This is more of an organic standpoint. So just my thought.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, we'll put together a proposal for you. It usually takes us 48 to 72 hours. When would you be looking to get a campaign like this up and running for you guys?
If I closed it, hold on 1 second. I'm just looking.
No worries, man.
How long does it take to get built?
Yeah, there's a 2 to 4 week build out time from the day that you pay the invoice.
All right. So I'm just looking at my calendar for. So that would put us. So say we moved forward next week. I would actually just push it to the 3rd, because that would put us second. So say you did it in 2 weeks. You caught me at a weird time because it's the end of the month. Yeah. I would have to say number first, just for budgetary reasons. It's the end of the month, and I wouldn't want to get. Yeah, I wouldn't want to push, last weekend, Labor Day, holiday week, and all that stuff without, some of our employees being here and that type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even want to get started at the end of the month. It would make more sense to start at the beginning anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. But the faster you get that proposal together is the better. And apologize to Thomas. I know he was reaching out to me. We've just been swamped over here. And but I like the fact I like this video call thing too. I might do this more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely get me a proposal over to my email. I'll forward it right over to the owner also, and Sandra. You can meet her next time we talk.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I think it's a decent fit for us.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. Thomas, do you have Ryan's email?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wait, Thomas, you've been here the whole time?
Yeah.
What? It's messed up, man.
Yeah, he's just he's not feeling it today. It's all good though.
There's no video, nothing. Jeez.
Yeah. I actually suggested it to him. I said, man, we got to do a Zoom call. It's more personal, anyways. You know what I mean?
I do like it. I might do these more often.
Yeah.
You can see our office dog.
Oh, that's awesome. Damn, I gotta get one.
She's awesome. She's great.
It's tough here in New York, though, man, because the apartments are so small,
So listen, what I'm thinking is, you've never dealt with anybody in Jersey. You're only in Manhattan. If we move forward, I think you got to make a trip down. I mean, that's.
I don't see why not.
And Thomas, where are you?
I'm up here in Alaska right now.
You're not making it. You're definitely not making it. But yes, let's move forward with that. Get me the proposal as soon as possible. Yeah, he says take 48 hours. That's fine. I will be with the owner over the next couple of days. But I'll also forward that over to him and kind of give him, the rundown.
Cool, man. Yeah, one last thing. I don't know what Thomas went over last time you guys spoke. So there are plenty of marketing companies out there that do like 12-month contracts. Some even do like 24-month. Like, dude, that is ridiculous. We're not a cell phone company, right? We're not Sprint or T-Mobile, so we don't do long-term contracts. However, we do 90-day commitments, simply because, as I mentioned before, there's a whole bunch of optimizing and tweaking that goes into it. So we do like to give the 90 days to really fully be able to sort of get into this whole thing, if that makes sense.
That's fine. And that's okay. Now, if, in question, if I came to you and said, hey, listen, this month we have to lower our budget to 2,000, or the next month I said, hey, I want to raise our budget to 4,000, and you take a look and you say, yeah, that works. Is that okay? Like,
yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the higher the budget, the better the more money we can make for you guys. But obviously, we'll use the $3,000 as a starting point. If, like, in a month, you guys are like, yeah, let's bump it up to 4, let's bump it up to 5. The nice thing is, though, we don't actually raise our retainer. So if you guys tell us one month, you're like, hey, let's bump the ad budget up to $10,000, you're still only paying us $3,000. So it's pretty cool.
That works. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe we're doing so well, we'll bonus you out.
Easy there.
All right, cool. Sounds good, guys. I appreciate it. And next time, Thomas, you need to get on the video chat.
For sure. All right, email is Ryan at add-energy.com.
Yep. And can you also add Sandra at add-energy.com?
For sure. All right, got it down.
Cool, man.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, man. We'll get that over to you. And,
all right, have a good night, guys.
You too, man.
You too.
All right, see ya.
Bye. All right, my man. Hold on. Let me stop recording this 1 second.